Hey, John. It's Peter Lynch at Fidelity.
Peter Lynch is the most famous, maybe the best, stock picker in the country, the manager of the Magellan Growth Fund at Fidelity in Boston. Here's what they mean by growth. Lynch started out 13 years ago with $20 million in his fund. Today, it's $13 billion, 650 times bigger, and far the biggest mutual fund in the country. Last month, the Midas who made Magellan announced that he was quitting at age 45 to spend time with his wife and his 3 kids, to do some charitable work, to have some fun. He told us this morning he wasn't quitting because the business has changed, though in fact it has.
What bothers me, the thing that bothers me the most in my career of, I've been at Fidelity 21 years, I've really been in the stock market 25 or 26 years, has been the change from when I started out, you would buy a small company, you'd buy an option. The money eventually would help the company. Now it's turned to people buying, you would actually own part of the company if you wanted to speculate. Now people are buying options on whether General Motors are going to go up or down. That doesn't benefit General Motors. That's like betting whether BU is going to beat BC in a hockey game. None of the money gets to BU or BC. That's what the stock market has become. People are buying options on whether Sears is going to go up or down the next 3 months. I mean, that's a tragedy. It's really like betting on red or black at the casino. I mean, it's sad. And that didn't exist 10 or 15 years ago.
Peter Lynch isn't getting out because the steady 8-year rise of the economy and the Dow Jones average may have peaked, though in fact he thinks it has. Do you look out over this horizon and see a recession spreading?
Well, clearly, Chris, the economy slowed down. I mean, every company I talk to since September has seen a slowdown. Now, the economy's gone, it's definitely shifted gears. I don't know whether it's gone from overdrive into low gear, into park, or into reverse, but it's definitely shifted gears. And I'd love to know whether 91 is going to be a recession or not. But, you know, when Future Man comes to Boston, I'm always in Cleveland. I mean, I never know what's going to happen. We had the worst recession since the Depression in 1981-82. 20% prime rate, we had double-digit inflation, double-digit unemployment. I don't remember anybody tell me about that. I never got any phone calls 2 years before that saying, we're going to have this incredible recession coming. I didn't read about that anywhere. So I think it's a waste to spend any time predicting the economy. When I talk to Sears and they tell me the carpet business stinks, that's economics to me. When I talk to General Motors and they say steel prices are going down, that's economics. When somebody tells me next year we're going to have a recession, that's weather forecasting. You know, it's totally useless.
You know, the thing that intrigues me most, Peter, if I may say, is the personal question here.
Sure.
I assume that you don't have plans to go to Mars or start your own company.
Right.
That you're leaving
Right.
for the reasons you say.
Right. I have absolutely no, I'm not going to run another fund. I'm not going to run pension money. I'm absolutely getting out of the money management business. I have no desire. I work for the best company in the country. I love the fund I'm doing. You know, I just would like to do other things, and it doesn't work. You can't work a 75-hour work week together with a family. You know, I've got a great wife and 3 kids. I'd like to spend a lot more time with them. And there's a lot of outside things I'd like to do.
I think most of us out there are really interested in what a guy in his 40s who's won the lottery wants to do with the rest of his life.
I really haven't planned this thing out. I just decided in the last 3 to 6 months that, you know, it's too much for me. It's not working. You know, I've been working every Saturday for 8 years. The last year and a half, I've been working Sunday mornings before I go to church. You know, I think in the last year and a half I've read 1 book. You know, I used to read a book every 2 weeks. You know.
That's what I want to know. I want to know the books you plan to read. I want to know the golf courses you dream of playing.
Okay. Well, James Michener is somebody, he's probably not the greatest writer of all time, but I enjoy him. I'm 3 books behind on James Michener. You know you're not doing any reading. I haven't read Texas, I haven't read Alaska, I haven't read Caribbean. I mean, you're really in tough shape. I don't know if he writes one every 2 years or not, but I'm 3 behind on him. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I'm sure it'll be in Boston.
People are rattled about the future of this community.
Yes.
What's your own view?
Well, I think that's way off base. Clearly, 1990 is going to be a tough year. 91 will probably be a little more difficult. But then 92, we start to have the Third Harbor Tunnel coming through, you know, the Central Artery Project, the harbor cleanup. I think that could create 30, 40,000, you know, good jobs for this, you know, for the city, metropolitan Boston. And the construction problem, you know, will probably be cleaned up by then. The real estate, you know, will probably have bottomed. So I think this is, you know, towns are cyclical just like stocks are cyclical. We've had 7 or 8 good years in Massachusetts, very strong, too strong, and now we're probably going to have 2 or 3 mediocre ones. But inherently, we have a very strong, network here, and I think we're going to do very, very well.
What will be the leading sector to succeed the mini-computers?
Well, I think clearly the education sector. I mean, I think this is the highest per capita student environment in the world. I mean, when you think about students, I think the numbers like in metropolitan Boston is 150,000 undergraduate and graduate students, which is a staggering number. I mean, that's not going down. That's going to grow. The healthcare function is still, one of the best, if not the best in the world. So we still have a very strong base. Tourism is still very strong. So, I mean, the fact that we've had, downturn in the mini-computer industry, we felt a lot of that. Maybe there's more to be felt. The defense strength of this area is going to slow down somewhat. But, I think most of it's behind it. We've already had the downturn in real estate. The government has cut back. If you look at the state and local government, we've had a sharp contraction in the number of jobs. There may be more of that, but not a lot more. So we've already gone through a reduction in a lot of sectors. And I think they're going to bottom out in the next year or two. So I don't think it's going to become anything like a Texas or an Oklahoma where, people are just going to leave in droves.
What's going to repopulate those buildings out on 128?
I think they may not be, that may take a long time. Those buildings aren't needed. I mean, downtown Boston is in very fine shape. It's really the 128 belt. I have no guesses. I would not like to own one of those suckers. They built too many of those little fellas.
Those, in any event, are not the little fellas that Peter Lynch will be worrying about.
What I want to do is spend more time with my family. I like to watch some cartoons on Saturday morning, and fly a kite and go to the swings and take the kids to the shopping center. Nothing profound, just something just very prosaic, something I can enjoy. And the other things will take care of themselves.